Good day to y'all. I'm here to read the daily reflections for September 9th. My name is Eduardo today, and I am a recovering alcoholic. The title of today's daily reflections, it's called Opening New Doors. They, the promises, are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. That's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 84. The promises talked about in this passage are slowly coming to life for me. What has given me hope is putting step 9 into action. This step has allowed me to see and set goals for myself in recovery. Old habits and behaviors die hard. Working step 9 enables me to close the door on the drunk I was and to open new avenues for myself as a sober alcoholic. Making direct amends is crucial for me. As I repair relationships and behavior of the past, I am better able to live a sober life. Although I have some years of sobriety, there are times when the old stuff from the past needs to be taken care of, and step 9 always works when I work it. Period. The end of the reading. I've been watching the first 3 videos I did, and I was having a debate with myself here with, I forget now. September 7th, I said I was going to do part 2, and then I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I've been having this debate in my head for the past 2 days about things like that. And I've just been thinking about the slogans of the AA. Oh, here, and by the way, I'm always going to do the reading for the day first, or that's what I'm striving for, trying to do. That's my goal. So then you can get on with your life. If you just want to hear the reading, I want to be able to provide that, and I'll do that to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to, like it says at the beginning of this book I'm reading from, Daily Reflections book. Right here it says, a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. So you're getting my reflections today in 2025 of the September 9th reading. And pretty much that's how these will be, is that I'll do the reading, we can share that, and then you can leave. And I'm just going to sit here and keep yakking about things. And mainly, I'm going to try and keep things in some kind of a, it's the 9th month, so I believe we could, to keep it organized in some manner, I'll talk about 9th step kind of things. I've got about 20 years sobriety. That really doesn't mean much. It just means that I've been putting one foot in front of the other over and over and over and over, and keeping the alcohol out of the ingestion tract, let's say. I haven't been consuming alcohol. I've been living and breathing this program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've had the opportunity 24 hours a day to live this program for my entire life, I guess. I tried to put it into practice when I stopped drinking the alcohol, when that got to be such a problem, being an active alcoholic, that, you know, that was like 20 years ago. So I've had about 20 years to try and practice this program. And I'm a mere novice. Maybe I'm only now a beginner. I like this program. It's And so anyways, I can still have a lot of, I don't know if it's difficulty. It is difficulty. I don't know if I need or if I even could explain that with things. Some things I do read about the Alcoholics program. People say that us, AA members, me, you can lump me in with that, that we need to keep calling ourselves alcoholics. Didn't I just do that at the beginning of this? I'm Eduardo. That's not my real name. It's an anonymous name that I'm using today. I'm Eduardo. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic addict. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. There's all these different things that people say. I made a decision a long time ago, let's say at least 10 years ago, that, whatever, that doesn't even really mean anything to me any longer. Sometimes I know for certain way back, let's say 30 years ago, roughly, no, like 35 years ago, roughly 10 years, 15 years before I stopped drinking the second time. That's the sobriety stretch I'm on now. Was like 19 years, 11 months ago, something like that. I quit drinking alcohol. And at that point, when I said to myself, to other people, and went looking for help for alcoholism, it was coming out of my mouth a lot. I am an alcoholic. It had a lot of power back then. It still does. So, now, back to what I was saying here, kind of, is that you're always going to get the reading from me first, or most times. That's what I'm trying to do. And then I'm just going to sit here and talk about things, and typically talk about, maybe, if it's September, talk about ninth step kind of things, and the ninth step being made amends to such people, except when to do so, made direct amends to such people, except when to do so would harm them or others. Something like that. I'm not going to go word for word yet, because I may have already lost the point here. Oh, you're going to get the reading first. My plan, get the reading first, then I'm going to talk about things, maybe about ninth step things this month, because it's September, the ninth month, ninth step, ninth tradition, ninth principle. Or I might just go somewhere else. Okay, here, and this other thing about making a continuation in step, whatever it was. The other day I said I was going to do part 2. Not going to do that. And then this brought me to, sometimes I still have these difficulties with the program, such as, like, people say we have to keep calling ourselves alcoholics. Like I just said, I don't put a lot of weight behind that. What really matters is that you're sober today. If you have an alcohol problem, a drinking problem, maybe if you have a stopping drinking problem, it's anyways, today's the only day that matters. That's why I also said my 19 years of discovering I don't know very much about this at all, really, what I know are a few things that have been keeping me sober. And it's these simple things that used to really get on me. And I was just thinking about this today, that no, maybe they still get on my nerves. It's a pride thing again. Just like the admission, the first admission. What's step 1? Let's read that one. I don't want to mess that up. Step 1 from the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and a big hyphen, that our lives had become unmanageable. So if your life is unmanageable and you think a drink is going to help, so you try that, and maybe it does, and then maybe that doesn't work, and then maybe 2 drinks works, and and all that kind of thing, and then pretty soon you're drinking 5 drinks a night when you get home at 5 o'clock, the cocktail hour or whatever, and it becomes a habit and all this type of thing. And yet your life is still unmanageable and you don't know why or whatever. Or maybe you suspect it might be alcohol, but you don't want to buy that. That's kind of how I started into the entrance of alcoholism. The disease in my life was manifested or presented itself in that way. I tried to cope with things using alcohol, just to cover it up, dull it, numb it out, that kind of thing. And then it became a habit, and then it became an addiction and a dependency, and that went on for several decades. Let's say 3 decades. And then it's like, you know what? I cannot quit drinking. I mean, it was so darn impossible seeming that I didn't know how. I tried. It wasn't happening. And then I checked myself into treatment. And then 45 days later, I got out and I thought I had it handled enough and started drinking grocery store beer, the 3.2% in the state where I live. Not strong alcohol, but that only lasted a couple months, whatever. Then I was back into the hard stuff, and then everything went to crap. Life became unmanageable, and I knew I was an alcoholic. I just wouldn't admit it, I guess. Pride. This is where I'm trying to get to. With my difficulty in a lot of things are still centered within pride. I wish I could get more profound on that. It's ignorance of something, but it's a very strong belief that you know the answer and you don't need any help. Say let's use that definition for today. Just like the sobriety today is important. Today, that's all I feel about pride. It's a very strong-rooted belief that I'm the only person I need today, and I can conquer all. Something along those lines. And then something comes along you can't conquer, and it's really difficult to accept. Now, back to these slogans and things that maybe I still have difficulties with. Keep it simple. 3 words right there. That's a slogan. It's available on a tablecloth somewhere at your AA gift shop somewhere, I bet. Easy does it. That's another one right next to the keep it simple. And I made mention in these last couple videos of, what was it? Everything all the time. That goes, I realized again today that, maybe that isn't another saying along those lines maybe is one or nothing, I think, right? And so the drinking, the addictions, whatever, let's just call it all sickness and addiction, a dependency. 1 drink is never enough, and 1,000 are not too many. That's another one. And these are all in my head. These are all like these little slogans where it encapsulates a huge bunch of information, and then you can just dilute it down to like a couple words, and they hit you different. They hit me differently every time, or every day, maybe. And when I let them work on me, it's like, wow, that's helpful. And I don't like admitting that something so simple can be helpful. That's making me think of love and acceptance. That these touchy-feely things that I didn't have a part of in a long time, of like a couple of decades of drinking. I didn't know who I was. I didn't think I was worth much or anything. And I had a hard time accepting other people could see me hurting and self-destructing when I thought everything was fine. See, now we're back in step one here with unmanageability and pride and all this stuff, and denial and anger, and that's why I think I keep reminding myself I am an alcoholic. That doesn't mean I have to drink today. Norm Macdonald has a good joke about that. That kind of makes sense. And I'm not going to explain it here because I see my camera's going to cut me off again. This brings me to this other point today. I think I'm just going to talk like this, and when this thing shuts off, that's going to be fine. And you know why? Because one thing at a time, keep it simple, and it's just accepting things the way they are rather than the way I'd have them be. And so that's kind of and anything I missed today, I'm going to say again tomorrow or next week or next month. I keep talking the same kind of crap over and over. I mean, I just call everything crap because I don't know the right word. Basically, I got a one-track mind of whatever it is, and so it's going to come up again, I guess is what I'm saying. And this isn't some kind of cheap marketing tool to get you to keep watching these videos, which, here's another one I like. This book here, Alcoholics Anonymous. If you are in this program and you have a sponsor and you ask your sponsor something and this sponsor says something like, go read it on page 12 in the big book. And you go look on page 12, and that's in Bill's story. He was on a different footing. His roots grasped a new soil. And I just picked that out as an example because that's not what I'm looking for. And then you end up reading the rest of page 12, maybe page 13. Sometimes you'll go back and read page 11. At least I do, because I got this obsession in my head for a lot of things. Neil Peart called it enthusiastic inquisitiveness, I think. And, it's like an underhanded way of your sponsor making you read the entire big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, one page at a time. One day at a time. That's what I was looking for. They named a book after that. The 24 Hours a Day book. Keep it simple. Just go to bed sober tonight and things will be better tomorrow. Maybe. Maybe they won't be, but we don't have to worry about that until tomorrow. We need to worry about today, right now. What are we going to do today before lunch? Are we going to start drinking? I'm not going to. I've been down that road. It's not anywhere I want to visit any longer. And I might get trapped there again, lost at the end of an awful, dark, long, bumpy road that I don't care to traverse any longer. So, here, I'll quit on my own accord today and wish you a good day. Thank you for coming here, and maybe I'll get with you tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.